After I did my first YouTube videos on my German channel, I got criticized quite a lot for how bad the audio quality is, and I guess people were right, it was really not good. So I switched from a directional microphone to a lavalier microphone like I have it here. And in the beginning I had a very cheap one, like one with a cable that went to my iPhone, but not to my camera, so I always needed to sync the audio and the video. It was a bit a mess. And last year I bought myself this DJI microphone. It's a set with 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, and as you can maybe see, I'm using it right now. And recently Hollyland, a quite known company in the audio world, asked me if I would be interested to review their newest product. It's called Hollyland Lark MAX. And yes, I was very curious. I wanted to see how it compares to my DJI, if it might offer me some benefits, or if I will just keep this one. And that's what I want to do in this video. I want to give you a short introduction, what you can find in here, give you some audio samples, indoor, outdoor, about the audio quality, and then share my first impressions. I would not really call this a review, because for this I didn't have the microphone long enough, but I shot some videos with it, so stay with me. So let's have a look what you will get when you buy this product. So first you get this quite big and impressive case, and if we open this, I think we can start with the boring part that comes here in the upper compartment. If I open this here, we have two so-called dead cats or wind protectors that go on the microphones if you shoot outdoor. Then we have a USB-C, USB-C cable for charging or for using it with your phone, installing firmware updates, whatsoever. Then there is a classical USB-C to USB-A cable, maybe nice if you still have an old charger. I will personally not use this. Then we have a USB-C to Lightning cable, very useful if you want to film with your iPhone or iPad. I have already used this one. And then of course the typical audio cable for connecting the receiver to your camera. And the nice thing is that it's actually a coiled cable, so you have some flexibility with the length. Let's get to the more interesting stuff, and this is another case inside the case. But as you might have already guessed, this one is a bit fancier. It has a USB-C plug on the bottom. This is for charging the whole case. Similar to AirPods or many other things, this one has a battery included that charges your receiver and the 2 transmitters, so the 2 microphones. And it should be enough to charge them, all of them, like around 2 times. I need to say I never used it so much. I just use the microphones as much as I want. I put them in, and when I see on the LED indicator here on the front, now I have 2 out of 4 bars. If this gets too low, I just plug it in the USB-C for an hour or 2. And if we open it to the inside, you can see that we have in the middle the receiver, and to the left and right 2 transmitters. And we can see here the battery case has around 45% battery, and both microphones and the receiver are fully charged. So let's take one set here out, and you can see that you already have an indication on the screen of the receiver. So this one is already turned on and paired, and it's also indicated like that with the blue light that we have here. So let me first walk you through of what the receiver consists. So we have here a headphone jack if you want to plug some headphones, the USB-C port, and here the jack for plugging the receiver to the camera, so for me the most important, and here an on-off switch or lock switch. Personally, I have not used this so far, because as soon as you take them out of the case, they automatically turn on. Then we have here a combined knob and dial for the menu, and here a small touch-sensitive button that's like a home button. So I will also take the second microphone out, and you will see now on the screen in around a second that both microphones now appear, both fully charged and both have a good signal strength. So what can we change in the settings? There is kind of the quick settings. If you just press the home button, I can turn on or off the noise cancelling here. I can mute or unmute the microphone, and I can start the recording on the microphone itself. Yeah, I picked the right one, and you can see here will be a small red LED indicating that we're recording. And then you can retrieve the audio files via the USB-C port from either of the transmitters. If I go here to the one more to the right, you can see that there is more options, the same options actually for the second microphone. And one important thing to note here, if you turn off the noise cancellation on one microphone, it will also be turned off on the other. So these two kind of work together. Yeah, let's jump into the big menu. So what we have here is the recording mode. I have it to mono right now. I will put it to stereo if I would use both microphones, like for an interview. Then afterwards you can still correct the levels in case one person was speaking louder. You can also put a safety track, so to avoid that if you're speaking too loud, that you still have a plan B, basically a backup that is a bit more quiet. I can put the microphone settings here, like the gain of the microphone, and I can set this independently for both. And as you can see, I put the gain for microphone 2 a bit lower. This is because sometimes I record with my phone, and my iPhone seems to have a quite low gain itself. So if I record something on my iPhone with any external microphone, it's just rather quiet. And here I can know that microphone 2, I will just use it for my iPhone, and this has a higher gain set here. Otherwise, I can set the auto record so that as soon as you take them out of the case, they will start recording. Can be nice in case you sometimes might forget to plug it to the camera, or you maybe don't even want to use the big receiver and just record straight on here. Then it's nice if it starts recording automatically. I can set the settings for the automatic off. I can change the LED brightness, and here I can access the storage and format the storage, so clear all files if needed. We can go back with this home button. Here we have the phone speaker settings, so if you connect to the phone, of how it should deal with the microphone attached. Then we have an equalizer that I personally just didn't use because I just use it for my own voice, so I don't really need an equalizer. But it might be nice, also depending maybe on the voice you have or the background noise. I have not played enough with this. And then we have the system settings, which are a bit more boring. So we have the pairing mode. I tried, it works, but I have never really used it because actually they pair just as soon as you take them out of the box. The brightness settings of the receiver here, the upgrade mode if you want to update the firmware. You can change the date, the time, of course the language. You can reset everything to factory, and you get some information about the version of firmware that is on the transmitters and the receivers, that you see if you can actually do an upgrade or if you are already up to date. So if we go back here, I think everything is quite clear here. So let's look at one of the microphones itself a bit more in detail. So on the one side you have the rec button, so here you can also start the recording of each microphone independently if you want. On the top you have the big microphone itself, and as I said, there is the wind protector that goes on it. Just be aware it's directional, so it matters how you put it, otherwise you might just lose it quite quickly, but if you put it the right direction, I found that it's quite firm, so only if you unplug it properly it comes off. You have an on-off switch. I also didn't use this. You have here a jack for putting an external microphone, like a small one that you can put up here. I was quite happy with the quality of this one, so I had no need for that, but it's here. And then we have a button for going into the pairing mode. If you press this button long, or if you press it shortly, you activate or deactivate noise cancelling. Finally here we have magnets, which is cool if you want to just clip it on a t-shirt or something. You can just take this here and clip it, just like I did with my DJI microphone. I found the magnets strong enough for t-shirts, even here at the collar. Of course, if you have maybe a shirt or something with a really thick collar, it might not work. But to be honest, if I have a thick collar, I'm anyway using the clipping function. The magnets are just nice for a t-shirt because sometimes with the clip, the microphone kind of bumps over. As I said, I did some short tests about the audio quality of this microphone, and you can now hear a sample indoor and outdoor. And you can make up your own mind. I had the impression that the Hollyland Lark indeed sounded a bit better than the DJI microphone, but I also don't have the best ears, so I don't know how representative this is, so just judge for yourself. This is the indoor audio quality test of the Hollyland Lark MAX. At the moment the noise cancellation is deactivated. The Hollyland Lark MAX is still recording, but now the noise cancellation is activated. Now the indoor sound quality test with the DJI mic. Here a very short outdoor test with the DJI microphone. another direct comparison with the Hollyland Lark MAX with noise cancelling enabled. I hope like this you can judge for yourself which one you like more. Two small things that I just noticed after doing some more tests. First, the case seems to discharge itself a bit after some time. It's not terrible, but it can be a few percent over one night, and over time you realize this. The second thing is that sometimes I had it that the second microphone just turned on even though it was in the case, which is of course not good for the audio quality. I assume that this is most likely something that can be solved via a firmware update. I also need to say that I'm using a prototype or a beta version, not the production model, so this might also change in the final model. I will keep you updated in the comments below. One thing I really noticed was that the noise cancelling had quite a big effect if I was outside. And interestingly, I had the feeling that the DJI was somehow a bit in between the Hollyland Lark without noise cancelling and the Hollyland Lark with noise cancelling. So I'm not sure if this has some kind of noise cancelling integrated. There's no option to turn it on or off, but seems to be something in there. But this one was, I had the impression, really performing better when there was background noise, when the noise cancelling was activated. I want to slowly move to a conclusion and point out some things that I like and didn't like so much, especially when compared to my DJI. Because in terms of price, they're quite similar. Both are around 320 euros. So the first thing that I really liked about the Hollyland Lark is, it's hard to describe, but the feel, it just feels a bit more professional. It feels sturdier, it feels better built. This was quite nice. I cannot say something about if it really lasts longer. I have this for not even a year and this for a few weeks, so I hope they will last for many years, so I cannot make any really statement about durability at this point, but it somehow feels nicer, really well made. I was very happy with the audio quality. I found them, for my taste, a bit better than the DJI, but there's also some small things that I didn't like so much. So minor thing, but I can only put the receiver like in one direction on my camera in the way that I see the screen from the back of the camera. If I film myself, I would have found it quite cool if I could see the screen from the front as well, but this small thing here, this clip, is not really symmetrical, so it only fits in one direction. Not a big issue, but this would have been nice since I already have the coiled cable that is long enough to plug it from the other side. And then my next issue is if I film with my iPhone, I can easily connect the receiver here to my phone. That's quite nice. But now, if I'm vlogging and I have this on a small tripod or maybe just even in my hand, what do I do with this one? I cannot really clip it to the phone. I could try to clip it here to the connector, but yeah, it works, but I don't think it's the most stable solution long term. So what I might do here is just use the microphone directly, press record so that it's recording directly to the receiver, and then afterwards plug it, connect it with USB-C, put the files on the computer, and then synchronize the files automatically from the audio files from the microphone with the video files from the phone. That's completely fine if I just have 1 or 2 shots, but sometimes if I'm doing a vlog, I have like maybe 10 different shots or more with audio, and then it's just a lot of files. So here the DJI solution is a bit nicer. I cannot show you because the DJI is used right now, but let's assume this will be the DJI receiver for a minute. Then you could like glide this in here to the contact, and then basically plug this straight to the phone, and you have the receiver attached to the phone. I even see the levels, and it's in a secure place. So for me, this was somehow the better solution. And in general, which one will I use from now on, the DJI or the Hollyland Lark MAX? I think actually both, because both have their advantages and disadvantages. One disadvantage that I didn't mention, but maybe you saw it already, is the size and the weight. So you can see it's quite bigger, the Hollyland Lark MAX, also with the case if you compare it to the DJI. So if I don't have so much space in my backpack, maybe I want to go for a hike and do a short video, but I don't want to carry too much stuff, then the DJI is just nicer, more compact. On the other hand, the feel and the sound quality with the Hollyland Lark MAX seem to be better to me. So my solution will probably be that I will continue using both. I will use the Hollyland Lark MAX more when I'm doing some indoor videos like here, maybe something in the garden, something in the forest where I set up the camera and film something. On the other hand, the DJI more as a mobile one when I'm really going a bit farther, when I'm also using my iPhone to film myself, because I actually have a small case or a bit a bigger case that goes in my backpack where I have a small tripod for my iPhone, I have a GoPro, and I can also put the DJI microphone and this can stay there. So I can easily just take everything I need for a mobile video without needing to think about putting the microphone in there. So I think that's how I will do it. One for home, one for on the go. For me, both have their advantages and disadvantages, but decide for yourself if you want to pick one of them up. I put affiliate links of both of them below, so I would get a small provision. You don't pay anything more. I hope the video was helpful, and please let me know if you want to have a bit more behind the scenes video. What kind of equipment do I use for making my YouTube videos actually, also in terms of external recorders and so on.